Now you will watch a video of an experienced peer reviewer making comments on the same paragraph. As you watch, think about the following question. Are there any differences between the comments you gave and the teacher's comments? Okay, I've read this paragraph once for meaning, so now I'm ready to give some comments. Let's start from the beginning. I take a position that teaching English is necessary for young elementary school students for several reasons. That's a good, clear stance, so let me write that first. I take a position that it's necessary. All right. You made your stance very clear in this topic sentence. Good job. For several reasons. But the writer only mentions two reasons. And they were, let's see, adapting for globalization and becoming an international person. But actually, even those two reasons sound kind of like the same thing to me. So I think the biggest thing would be to make it clear what the difference is between them, if there is one, and then put each reason in a separate paragraph, right? Because we're only supposed to talk about one idea per paragraph. So what should I write? Let's see. What you have written makes it sound like you are giving two reasons to support your view. Adapting for a globalized world and becoming an international person. But they sound kind of similar to me. If these are really two separate ideas, can you explain what the difference is between them? Also, if globalization and becoming an international person really are two separate ideas, it would probably be better to separate them into different paragraphs. Okay, so let's move on. First of all, society needs a person who can speak and understand English because the globalization is developing in the world today. I agree with this statement, but I don't think there's really enough information in the paragraph to support that idea. So I'm going to recommend that they explain why English is necessary for globalization, and maybe that they include some evidence from outside sources. Alright, so I agree with this idea, but I think your argument might be stronger if you included some evidence to show why English is related to globalization. It might also help to include a definition or explanation of what globalization is. Yeah, so what do they say next? In other words, foreigner will come into Japan to work for earn more and more. And Japanese will also go to foreign country to extend their job. They have to work together with foreigner. That last sentence is really short compared to the others. And actually, all three of those sentences seem related to me because foreigners coming into Japan and Japanese people traveling outside of Japan are just different ways that Japanese people work with foreigners. So let me write that down. It seems like these first two sentences are actually different ways that Japanese people work with foreigners, like you say in this last sentence. I wonder if it might be a good idea to combine these three sentences since they seem closely related. Alright, next sentence. Let's see. So it is important for elementary school students to study English as soon as possible. I agree with this too, and I think it's a great point for this topic because this paragraph isn't just about teaching English, but teaching English to elementary school students specifically. So let me write that down before I forget. Okay. This is an important argument. It helps support your argument for teaching English to elementary schoolers specifically, rather than just teaching English in general. But I think they should add more information about why it's important to start early. They just say as soon as possible, but they don't really say why. I think they could really use some evidence to justify that argument. So let me come down here and add that. I think you could develop this idea a little bit more and explain why learning a language early is better. It might be helpful to use some evidence from outside sources to support your point of view. Let me just fix my typos here before I move on. Okay, what's next? What is next? All right. Another reason is that by studying English and speaking, children's vision change widely. Right. The rest of this is the second reason that they give, which doesn't really seem like a separate reason to me. So I don't think I need to comment on any of this right now, because the writer might combine it with the first reason based on my original comment anyway. So then now let me read through it one more time for the smaller things like grammar and spelling. Society need a person who can speak and understand English because the globalization is spelled wrong here. That's an easy fix at least. Okay, so I think this word is spelled globalization, not globalization. All right, moving on. Where were we? In other words, foreigner will come into Japan to work for earn more and more. Okay, I'm not really sure what that means. Are they earning more or coming into Japan more? That's a little unclear, so let me point that out. Okay. When you say that foreigners will be coming into Japan for earn more and more, are you saying that foreigners will be paid more, or that the number of foreigners entering Japan will increase? If you're talking about foreigners coming into Japan more, maybe you don't need to mention earning at all. Okay. And the next sentence, and Japanese will also go to foreign country to extend their job. I'm not really sure what extend their job means. So this part is a little unclear to me. Are you talking about people who work for a Japanese company but go on business trips? Or are you talking about people who leave Japan to work for foreign companies? I'm not sure how exactly they are extending their jobs. Could you make this part clearer? So let's read through the rest here. It's important for elementary school student. Another reason. Vision change widely. Become international people. They will help Japan in every foreign country. Yeah, the grammar and spelling in the rest of this is pretty good. But they do mention international people and international person twice, which isn't really clear to me. So I'll comment on that. might be a good idea to make it clear what you mean by an international person. I'm not really familiar with that phrase, so other people might not be either. Can you define what this term means? Whew. Okay, I think that's everything. So now I just want to read through everything that I've written to make sure that it's clear.